real good, and I'd say, "Where's the?" You would raise your head up and say, "Beef." See, you're going to go to your grave with that. When you get the information that we're going to cover in the university internalized like that, then you can teach it, you can go to the marketplace, you can implement it, and you will have success. It's not that big of a secret on why people create success and why those that don't within this industry. It's being smart enough to learn from somebody that's been there and been doing it for 30 years. You know, a wise person learns from their own mistakes, but a really wise person learns from the mistakes of others. When I got involved in this industry, it took me 5 years to be able to leave my job at IBM in Lexington, Kentucky. 5 years, 5 long, hard years, but I wanted out of there so bad. And I was able to leave because of the industry. But it took me another 5 years or 10 years before I made my first $100,000 in the industry, before I had my first $100,000 year. So I learned a lot of things that don't work during those first 10 years. But my 11th year, my income jumped to over $1 million for the year, and my 13th year, over $3 million. And you say, well, Dale, how could that happen? Because what we taught was very unified. It was very duplicatable. And you get to a point where it's just geometric progression takes over because everybody's on the same page and the things can duplicate really fast when they're systematic. So as we go through this and as we go through each course and you're taking the concepts and the ideas to the marketplace, this is what's going to happen. In the beginning, right now, when you first get started, you're unconsciously incompetent. You don't know what you're doing, but you don't have a clue that you don't know what you're doing. Most people come into this business with the confidence that goes with ignorance. And not that they're ignorant people, but they're just ignorant on what they're doing because when you're dealing with weight loss, it's the easiest product to market. And a lot of times people just go out there and just bob and weave and have success initially, and they move a lot of product. But if you don't follow up on the customers and if you don't understand, it's not about retailing a product. It's about you only retail to recruit, which we're going to talk about later on. And you have to get that concept in your mind. But most people start in a state of unconsciously incompetent. Then they wake up one day and they're consciously aware that they're not competent. They're incompetent. So you go from unconsciously incompetent to consciously incompetent, and that's when most people quit. They wake up one day and say, man, I don't know what happened to all my people. I don't know what happened to all my customers. I don't have a clue what I'm doing. This is not for me. I'm getting out of the business. And then the next level of learning is where you become consciously competent, where you can do the business, but you have to think about it. You have to look at the scripts. You have to follow the instructions. You have to follow your training. And if you persist over time, you get to a point where you're unconsciously competent, where you know what you're doing. It's programmed in your mind. You know exactly what to say on a 3-day, 14, 29-day call. You know exactly how to do the business. You know every aspect. That's what we're going to teach you through this university. Everything in the business is predictable, and when you make a move, your prospect or distributor is going to make a move, which is predictable because our real product is human beings. And we're going to teach you what over 30 years of trial and error and refinement, what is the best move for the masses at any particular point along your business, and get you to a point where you're unconsciously competent, where you're a leader. You know what you're doing. You can teach it because it's systematic. It's like driving a stick shift. You know, the first time that you start learning how to drive a stick shift, it doesn't take too long to realize that you're to get to a point of consciously incompetent when you don't know what you're doing. And it's like, oh, please don't let me stop on that hill, the stoplight. Oh, let me get past the hill so I don't have to start on the hill. Let me get past the hill. And you keep practicing and practicing. And then you get to a point where you're consciously competent, where you can do it, but you have to really think about it. Clutch in, up, first gear. Wind it out, clutch in, down, second gear. And you get to where you can consciously shift the gears on the car. And then you get to where you're unconsciously competent. I mean, you're driving a 5-speed, eating a hamburger, tuning the radio, and rolling down the window all at the same time. You can do it in your sleep. That's where we want to get you at each part each course in TLC University. And what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen, over time, as more and more people go through the university, they graduate, they're making six figures, it's going to become your number one way to recruit new people on your team, because it's psychologically congruent with the way we think as human beings. You know, people that become dentists, they know I'm going to go to school, I have to take my freshman courses, then my sophomore courses, and they know the path that they're going to have to take. They're going to have to take courses, graduate, move to the next course, graduate, move to the next course, and then they graduate and they go to dental school and they become a dentist or anything else in life. It's congruent with the way we as human beings have been programmed since the time we were children. So, again, it's very unique. It's never been done before. I'm excited to have you with us. If you just make the decision that I'm going to stick with this course, I'm going to learn it, I'm going to take each course step by step, I'm going to go to the marketplace, I'm going to implement what I learn, I'm going to create results, and I'm going to continue to move forward, and I will graduate, then your income on the other end is guaranteed for you. And there's no network marketing organization in the world that can make that statement. But because this training is not just a lot of training, it's congruent with the commission structure of TLC, where you have to advance in the commission structure as you advance through the training programs, we can make that statement for you. So I'm excited to be with you. I'm excited to have the opportunity to work with you on TLC University and work you through the courses. I do want to mention again the website, tlc-university.com/001. And there's a couple of things that you want to do when you go there. You want to make sure you take a look at the video that we have online for you from Dr. Norman Vincent Peale. Phenomenal. Listen to the masses audio training. That will even cement further this whole concept of unified duplicatable training. Make sure that you spend some time on the website. Your first assignment, which you'll learn about in a few minutes on the other CDs, is just empty your mind and heart of anybody that you know that we can practice with and send some information to in the mail. Figure out why you're doing the business. Make sure you listen to Richard Neihart on the website. That is an awesome training called Reasons in a System. Reasons in a System. Awesome training.